of October 28, 1954, Mary Welsh Hemingway, fourth wife of Ernest Hemingway, was asleep in bed when her husband crawled in alongside her to whisper, "I've won the thing." What thing? The Swedish thing? He meant, of course, the Nobel Prize in Literature, but for the novelists, the news was not entirely welcome. "I am thinking of telling them to shove it," he said, then paused. "Hell, it's $35,000, equivalent to about $240,000 today. A man can have a lot of fun with $35,000 next week." The Nobel Foundation in Stockholm will announce the winners of this year's prizes for physiology, or medicine, physics, chemistry and peace, with the economics and literature prizes to follow. Groundbreaking research will be honored and reputations cemented for posterity, but the winners will also find themselves considerably better off, and by rather more than Hemingway's $35,000. King of Sweden criticizes gigantic Nobel Center plan. Read more. How do Nobel laureates spend their winnings? A sum that fluctuates with the investment value of Alfred Nobel's capital, but is currently worth 8 Swedish kronor, $720,000. It would be insulting to suggest of distinguished laureates, who have spent a lifetime in a determined quest for knowledge or excellence, that the principal value of a Nobel Prize is monetary. And yet, as Philip Sharp, the American winner of the 1993 Prize for Medicine, said of the historic house he bought with his prize, a Nobel Prize may be principally about honor, but the money is a nice part of the process. For some laureates, the cash does indeed allow no small amount of fun. When Sir Paul Nurse, now director of the Francis Crick Institute, won his prize in medicine in 2001, he treated himself to a Kawasaki GPZ motorbike, later upgraded to a Triumph Bonneville. A colleague confirmed this week. Though reports there was also a private plane are false, she said. Franco Modigliani, who claimed the Economics Prize in 1985, promised not to go on a binge with his prize, but later used some of his prize to upgrade his laser-class yacht. Richard Roberts, the spaced British joint winner of the 1993 prize, spent some of his winnings on a 740 scatter, 8,000 SQFT, croquet lawn at his house, on which he would later pose for 1997's Stud Muffins of Science calendar. Albert Camus, literature, 1957, bought a house in the south of France where he could work. Eugene O'Neill, literature, 1936, used the money to build an Asian-style house in California where he would write some of his best-known plays. For many others, however, after a career in modestly rewarded academic research or literature, the money represents something more prosaic, if no less welcome. Asked what winning the 2004 Literature Prize meant to her, the Austrian novelist Alfred Jelinek said, "Financial independence, of course." Francis Crick's Nobel Prize medal sells for over 1.3 M. Read more. The Scottish-born, spaced economist Sir Angus Deaton, who won the prize in economics last year for his research into inequality, has also examined the link between money and contentment. So how did he spend the cash? I have worked on trying to understand spending and saving all of my professional life, he said. And while there is much that I still don't understand, one of the things we learn is that it makes no sense to spend it on Cian for a windfall, so I saved it, after I paid a lot of tax on it. Unlike many countries, the U.S. taxes Nobel Prize winnings as ordinary income. Deaton had just retired to Princeton, and added the sum remaining to his retirement fund, so I shall spend it over the next however many years. You have to remember that I shared my award," said Sir John Walker, who jointly won the Chemistry Prize in 1997, "so even though it sounds like a colossal amount of money, it isn't. At that time, my children were approaching university. It certainly helped remove any concerns I might have had about supporting their education, at undergraduate and graduate level." For many others, like Marie Curie, physics, 1903, winning a Nobel allows them to pursue further research. Others, particularly winners of the Peace Prize, choose to support causes close to their hearts. Barack Obama, for instance, gave his 2009 award to what the LA Times called an almost perfectly balanced list of PC beneficiaries, including veterans groups, diversity college programs and relief charities. Mother Teresa, Peace, 1979, Nadine Gordimer, Literature, 1991, Bolsoyinka, Literature, 1986, and many others also endowed cherished causes. G. N. T. Global, Medicine, 1999, who as a child had witnessed the bombing of Dresden, gave his entire prize to the city to fund a new synagogue and the restoration of its cathedral.